how's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be doing my monthly movie haul for the month of September. In this haul, I'm going to show you guys everything I bought during the month of September on Blu-ray or DVD, primarily DVDs. This month has been kind of random. I don't know, it's just what I felt like doing this month was digging through a bunch of used movie stores and finding random weird little movies. I do have a few found footage films in there, that's something I've been targeting lately, and I do have films that go with lines of DVD releases, like I have a film in here from the Bloody Disgusting Selects line, and I do like to try to collect and get all those line films. Now, one thing I do want to say right off the bat is the first three of these are actually going to be something I bought in August that missed the August haul. I put my new movies in one little pile just to get them all in the right place so I don't miss them, but these three missed that pile and I didn't notice till after the video came out. So the first little bit is just a correction, essentially. So, 3 bonus films that I should have showed you guys last month. But anyway, a good haul. I think there's like over 20 things in here. Let's go ahead and switch to the close-up camera, and I'll show you guys what I bought. So without further ado, to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, showing you guys my new movies for September. However, as I said earlier, there were 3 things that I was supposed to show you guys for the August haul that I totally missed. And first off, one that I was really excited to get, and that is Spiral from the Book of Saw. This is, I believe, the 9th Saw movie, and with the new one coming out, really good to pick that up. You know, I always try to stay with the new movies, but so many new movies come out, and I don't always buy them right off the bat because you're paying full price for them. This one had been out for a bit, so it was a little cheaper, but it also came with this new slipcase. I really do like when they do new slipcases. These are all nice digital paintings on a solid black backdrop, and they're all character portraits. They look really good. If you guys check out the Walmart slipcases, you'll see lines of like glow-in-the-dark ones and retro throwback ones, and they're all really cool, but I have such a big collection that most of them are stuff that I already have, and to find one that I didn't yet have and on Blu-ray, that's pretty cool. So there's the front, there's the back, and if we slide off the new slip, it still is the same cover underneath as the standard Blu-ray release. Chris Rock in the glowing spiral, and the movie also has Samuel L. Jackson in it. Crack the movie open and slide the digital code out off camera, and we see that it's got spirally saw blades, and the Blu-ray is appropriately enough blue. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, slide that back in its case and move along to the next 2, and the next 2 are actually both Shudder originals. We have Leave and From Black. And Leave, a pretty cool cover, ghostly figure pointing with a flaming necklace there, and a cool graveyard upside down. Shudder movies usually going to have their slips. Cover underneath is going to be the same, and the disc will be the same as well. But if we read the back of this one, it talks about a lady who was found at an orphanage, and she has a mysterious cross necklace and a blanket with strange symbols. She goes to Norway to figure out who she is and uncovers a dark secret. So that's pretty cool. A bit of a case of where did I come from? And the next one, From Black, this one, if we flip to the back, talks about how there's a recovering drug addict mother, her young son disappears, and someone offers to let her find out what happened, but only if she pays a strange and terrifying price. That could be interesting, moody and disquieting. And same with the last one, cover is the same underneath, and crack it open, disc is the same as the cover. But anyway, 2 Shudder ones from August. I don't think I picked up any Shudder for September, but I would be willing to bet that the Shudder for September probably got bumped to October because Halloween season, right? But anyway, that's what I should have showed you last time. Moving on to the new stuff, the actual September haul, and that is starting off with the Blu-rays, Hallucination Strip. This is from Raro Video, one of those boutique labels that puts out old stuff that didn't necessarily get the best releases previously, but boy does Raro Video go pretty obscure. This is also known as Hallucination Trip, and is directed by Lucio Marciniti. And if we slide it open, it actually has a variant cover. That's pretty tight. Variant cover to the front, and the disc is a nice solid red, and it does come with the booklet here. However, I can't show you the back, and I can't show you, I don't know, I don't remember what's in the booklet, but the back does have an image that YouTube probably wouldn't like on there. But yeah, a surrealist, trippy movie. Don't know too much about it. But yeah, I do love Italian cinema, especially when it gets weird, and a trippy movie will probably get pretty weird, I'm betting. Anyway, the other Blu-ray is one that I was super excited to pick up, and that is Catfish. And this sounds like a mockumentary found footage film, or at least that's where I first heard of it from. But I do love found footage, and I saw this movie on a list, and found footage movies can get kind of hard to find. A lot of them were from the early days of streaming, and in turn they didn't have the best physical release schedules, so I didn't expect to see this one so soon. But I go to my local used movie store, and there it's sitting on the shelf, and I'm like, hey, I gotta snatch this one up. But flip it to the back, and it talks about how it's this mockumentary. Someone's brother is meeting someone online, and granted that the movie's called Catfish, I'm guessing it doesn't go too well. It's actually from Universal and Rogue there, and if we crack it open, the disc is that Catfish logo on the silver disc with the Blu-ray logo there. Anyway, I have another found footage movie, jumping into the DVDs now. This one looked pretty cool, and this is Blackwater Vampire, and this one sounds a bit like the Blair Witch Project, a bunch of people going into the woods looking for the town's legendary figure, but instead of a witch, it looks like it's some Nosferatu-looking vampire there, so that's pretty cool. Really striking graphic case, and there's the back there. Apparently there's also some plot where someone gets falsely accused of one of the murders, so they have to try to document this creature to get him out. And we get Image and RLJ Entertainment there. Crack it open, and the disc is the picture of the vampire blown up and put against black there. So that looks cool. I think this one also has some snow in it, which will be good for like November through January when it gets all cold. Anyway, after that I do have some line films. Starting off with After Dark Originals. Now you guys know After Dark for their After Dark Horror Fest. This is their After Dark Originals line, and they would do a few other lines and a few different types of films, but I think the original is just a way for them to use their brand without being tied to the seasonal horror fest. In this one, we got a creepy baby skull from Cradle to Grave. And flip it to the back, and it talks about how Emily and Nate are from the city. They move to Nate's ancestral country home, and he starts to act different and scary. So that's pretty cool. And the disc is going to be this gray with the shiny letters that we're all so familiar with, and I think Lionsgate did that a lot. But anyway, after that, I have one from the After Dark Action line, and this is Transit with Jim Caviezel and James Frain. Yeah, After Dark actually did a bunch of action films, and this one has this like kind of gritty 70s feel to it. They didn't make like that has a big border on it. This is much more subtle, but there's the After Dark Films logo right there. This one, it's okay. It's not the best thing ever. Lots of over-the-top, high-octane car action stuff. Well, I don't want to oversell it because it's not really a chase movie, but the villains in this movie drive this cool black car and they're constantly peeling it out. But basically, Jim Caviezel is a regular dad. Some criminals hide some money in their car to make it through a checkpoint, and then when they try to get it back, they don't go about it the best way and action ensues. It's cheesy and kind of forgettable, but it is fun. This is one that I have seen already, and I had to get it because, yeah, this is actually the first in the After Dark action line that I picked up. Another line film, Tokyo Shock Classics. So we get the Tokyo Shock logo there in the corner, and I think they're a division of Media Blasters, and they do sometimes older films, and they put this border around, so it's not just Tokyo Shock, it's Tokyo Shock Classics, and this one's called Black House. It's about this estate agent who gets a call from a former customer saying that she's planning to commit suicide, but when he goes over there, apparently everything goes nuts, and like, the house is kind of wacky. We do get a few special features, and we get this cool picture of someone with this big knife. It looks cool. Tokyo Shock stuff tends to be pretty fun. I have a bit of a collection of that. I did a whole collection video a bit ago. Anyway, Tokyo Shock right there. The next one, forgive the sticker residue I couldn't get off, but Bloody Disgusting Selects. Bloody Disgusting Selects has put out some cool stuff. You know, the Lucky McGee film, The Woman. I also have a few others. The Pack, Chop, Yellow Brick Road. So I have a few of these, and I'm always willing to grab them up, especially because they usually are pretty cheap. But this one talks about how there's a guy, and he's visiting Berlin, trying to meet up with his ex-girlfriend, but that's when the zombies come out, so he has to find her in a foreign country and fight off all the zombies. So that's Rammbock, Berlin Undead. Crack it open. Disc is the same as the front, but yeah, something for the Bloody Disgusting Selects line. Anyway, after that, I have a film, Remains, from Stephen Niles. Stephen Niles is the comic book artist that wrote 30 Days of Night, and he's done a lot of cool horror comics. This is based on his comic Remains, and I think it was made for the Chiller Network, and is now put out by Shout Factory, which is the parent company of Scream Factory. I haven't read the Remains comic yet, so I have to track that down. But a movie based on the comics of the guy that made 30 Days of Night? Yeah, I'll check this out. Plus, this one was pretty cheap as well. It says unrated version, which I kind of wonder, Chiller Network, what was the original censorship like on that? Crack it open, we get a different disc with all the, I think there's zombies in this one. I think it's zombies in Las Vegas. But if we pop it open, we get a hand of playing cards, and I think that's the comics cover there. It could almost be a reversible cover, but there's no name on the spine. So it kind of sucks when they miss that. And then we get an ad for the Chiller Network. Anyway, after that, really weird and random horror movie that I found for pretty cheap. This one's called Tortured. And there's a whole bunch of these films. I kind of find it funny whenever you see a reoccurring design motif where they kind of gray out one thing and put it against white with red and black text. They could almost feel like a series, and maybe I should put them all in a video and compare the covers. But it talks about how there's this modern exploitation filmmaker, Jason Impley, and flip it to the back, and it's like two criminals escape, and they're kidnapping a woman to use as a hostage. And I did a little research on this on IMDb, and I found like the parental guide section was just like red, 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 red. So apparently this is pretty extreme, but also it's only 65 minutes long, so yeah, it does feel like a modern grindhouse movie going too far and being really short, so see how that plays out. Also from Brain Damage Films there, which I have a few Brain Damage films. I really do like that production name. That's just kind of cheesy. But anyway, the next one, The Fear. And we got this wooden mannequin guy. And it's also from this Gold series. There'll be an ad on the inside. But anyway, it talks about how some college students go in the woods to understand what they're afraid of. And there's a wooden puppet in the woods, which is actually named Morty, which all you Rick and Morty fans will probably get a good laugh out of that. But the puppet apparently manipulate people's fears or something, so it actually is almost a subgenre in horror movies, the what are you afraid of? Well, that comes to life now. And this appears to be one of them. Crack it open, shiny silver disc. And there's other movies in the gold line. I definitely seen The Surgeon one around, but then some of these don't appear to be horror at all. The Werewolf, Voodoo, Secret Games 3? Sounds like an interesting line, but yeah, not all scary. Anyway, after that, we have another kind of random pull, and that is the unrated and uncut version of Evil Aliens, and this is a British comedy. I think it even has the guy that played Holly on Red Dwarf on there. I think he's like the producer or something in the world of the show. But it talks about how these people, they hear of an alien abduction, and they go out into the middle of the country to shoot an episode of their TV show, but of course it all turns out to be real. I looked up a few clips of this pretty corny British humor, but you know what? I'll pop it in, see what it's about. And there's the disc for Evil Aliens. Moving right along, we have a Spanish film, The Witch's Mirror. And again, I love obscure stuff, and this is a good obscure horror movie. But yeah, Spanish, so that's always cool. Original uncut version. It talks about how there's this witch, and she's using a magic mirror to protect her daughter from her evil husband. But I'm betting that something's going to go terribly wrong. We got a good bit of special features. Someone's going to be wearing this really cool mask. And one thing I really like, so there's the disc. There's these, I guess you cut them out and they're cards or something. But check it out, you can actually pop the disc out, flip the cover over, and that's the Spanish version of the cover, which I think is really cool to have that as an option. Anyway, so that's The Witch's Mirror. And moving along, we have Satan's Mistress. Yeah, this is a few kind of old, crazy films here, but it talks about how there's this woman and she starts getting visits from a ghost lover, and it's also known as Dark Eyes, Demon Rage, Fury of the Succubus, and Demon Seed. Glad they didn't go with the Demon Seed title, because that would become a very famous Dean Koontz novel. But anyway, there's some pictures on the back, including her with the red eyes, and even though this has a clear case, no backwards art. And there's the fun disc with the hands reaching out in the faces. Anyway, one more really old one. And yeah, a crazy title there. They Saved Hitler's Brain. I found this for really cheap. I had heard about this movie a few times. One of those grab your attention titles. But you get the brain wrapping around his neck. Newly transferred from the original 35mm elements, 92-minute cut. But yeah, it talks about how, they, I think they're going on an expedition or something, and they find that Hitler's brain has been kept alive by a group of secret Nazis. The text on the back actually does mock the film a little bit, but there he is with his head on a cabinet there. So yeah, this could be pretty wacky. We get the disc, which is all shiny, the insert, and a little mailer for Rhino Video. I remember Rhino Video was the company that would put out those old Mystery Science Theater DVDs. So that's pretty cool. After this, I have a section. These 3 films were all on clearance for only $2. So that's a steal. So these last 4 are a clearance section. And starting off with one more found footage movie from Macabre, and that is The Conspiracy. And I've heard a lot of good things about this one. It's like there are these documentary filmmakers, they're investigating a crazy conspiracy theorist, but find out maybe he's not as crazy as they think. I've heard it's really good, and hey, like I said, I'm on a bit of a found footage kick, so I will definitely pop this in the player and see what happens. After that, we have a horror movie with Brittany Murphy called Deadline, and it's about a writer, hence the deadline, and she goes to a cabin to recover, and yeah, she's trying to deal with psychological problems, but of course the cabin is going to be haunted, and good luck finishing your novel there. Looks cool, hadn't heard much about it, but a horror movie for $2, hard to pass up. The next one, not a horror movie, but I needed it for December's upcoming Christmas selection, and that is Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way. This is a pretty funny movie. I didn't have my own copy of it yet, and to see a copy out there for just $2, yeah, snag it up. It's him in the days before Christmas trying to shop for this Turbo Man action figure for his kid, but of course they're selling out everywhere and everybody's going nuts trying to get one. It's a wacky comedy that, okay, maybe people have joked about it more than it's actually good, but, you know, hey, it's fun to watch. Anyway, nice red case there, and crack it open, you actually get a flipper disc to choose between wide and full screen, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, after that, a Jim Henson double feature. This will actually be our last thing, and it's Jim Henson's Dark Chrystal and Labyrinth. I have Labyrinth already on Blu-ray, but I did not have the Dark Chrystal, and to get a DVD copy of Labyrinth with it, that's pretty cool. So yeah, again, only $2, so $1 per movie here. I kind of wanted to watch Dark Chrystal when the whole Netflix continuation came out, never really got a chance. And then Labyrinth, David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly, that's pretty cool. And there's the tech specs and stuff on the back, but also, one thing I really like with this is if you crack it open, 2 separate discs there, and this is the special 30th anniversary of Labyrinth. So that's pretty cool. Something that is a little outside my normal interest, but I still wanted to have it. And there we go. Get 2 movies for just $1 a piece, so $2 dollar piece on a double pack. So yeah, Castle is a little full. Not crazy full like it is some months, but a little bit full. Overall, really do like this haul. Some new and interesting stuff. Some stuff for some of my lines there. Some Blu-rays, found footage stuff. Yeah, a cool time with this. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. Really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my my monthly movie hauls playlist, which I've been doing since last October. So I think that's 12 of these, which is like a full year of movie buying, which is crazy. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Monthly playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.